Esta agenda económica la hacemos fuera del estudio de CNN Chile, porque vamos a conversar con una de las personas que ha aportado más a la tecnología y a la innovación en lo que actualmente manda en el mundo automotor, la conducción autónoma. Me refiero al fundador de Mobileye, Mois Navon, que está con nosotros acá en el programa. Mois, gracias por hablar con CNN Chile.
Muchas gracias.
Ahora vamos a hacer la entrevista en inglés. Mois, please introduce yourself to the Chilean audience. Make a little resume of your career.
Okay, a little resume of my career is basically, I started as an engineer at UCLA. I got a student internship at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. I basically began to learn engineering at NASA. After that, I worked for small companies, large companies. I moved to Israel and began to work for all kinds of startups and
But in NASA, yes, you work for the Star Wars program.
That's true. So actually, it's at NASA I worked for some other projects, and then following that I worked for Star Wars for the United States government, and basically I developed what's known as an IRSP, an infrared scene projector. It's the simulator that tests to make sure missiles hit missiles before you go shooting missiles in space.
Also, another piece of tech that you helped to create is the technology that allows us to watch video in the airplanes.
Correct. So in the early 1990s, there's an algorithm that came out called MPEG. It basically allows you to compress and decompress video. It's what allows us to watch all the movies on our phone. At the time, I was tasked with making the first video-on-demand system for airplanes. Basically, I built hardware that implements this MPEG algorithm and allows you to put all kinds of movies on the airplane, and everybody can watch what they want when they want.
Then you went back to Israel. Tell us about your career then.
Yeah, so okay, I should just point out the MPEG system, the video on demand, was in Herzliya in Israel. And then from there, I moved to another company that made encryption and decryption for videos, make sure that people pay for the television that they've ordered. And then following that, I worked for Mobileye. And so Mobileye is really where everybody, or many people are familiar. This is a company that is now behind the technology of autonomous vehicles. But really, it didn't start with being autonomous.
What was the first steps of Mobileye if it wasn't on the automobile technology?
Correct. So it was on the automobile technology, but I started with the company about a year after they had already proven the concept of detecting objects with a single camera. And the application of that, which was in the year 2000, nobody was talking about autonomous vehicles in 2000, 2001, etc. The initial application was known as ACC, Adaptive Cruise Control. Basically, the car sees the cars in front of you and can adjust your speed without you touching the controls.
We're going to talk about that tech, but then the explosion in growth of Mobileye was enormous.
Correct. So it wasn't about ACC, Adaptive Cruise Control. We quickly realized that there are many other applications, and there's a whole area in the automotive industry called ADAS, Advanced Driving Assistance Systems. And that's basically putting in all kinds of controls to make the car safer. Automatic emergency braking, the car will stop before you get in an accident. Lane keeping assist, we watch that you stay in your lane unless you signal and want to get out of the lane, and many other features that make the car much safer.
When we talk about autonomous driving, we think that is for us, the drivers don't do anything. But your perception is different. It's about saving lives.
Correct. So there's a couple of things. First of all, when people think about autonomous vehicles, they think about what's known as level 5. I say, take me to the beach, I go to sleep, I watch a movie. Level 5 is still a ways to come. We are now working on level 2, 3, 4. Level 2 is, like I said, the basic ADAS stuff like automatic emergency braking. Level 3 brings more control. Level 4 can take over even more. But nevertheless, all of those levels are still sophisticated ADAS levels where the human still needs to be aware and take control. Level 5 is what we're all working toward that will then allow you to just do whatever, no human control in the car. In terms of saving lives, all of these levels will contribute to the safety of the roads, but of course, the primary savings of lives will be when people stop driving.
Exactly, but we have to continue driving y nosotros vamos a manejar y Mois Navon nos va a explicar exactamente cómo funciona el control crucero adaptativo, el asistente para mantenerse en un mismo carril y lo haremos arriba de un Audi e-tron. Pero antes vamos a ver un resumen económico de esta jornada. La segunda parte de esta conversación con Mois Navon la vamos a dedicar a que él nos explique cómo funciona la tecnología que ha desarrollado. Mois, please.
Mois, explícanos cómo funciona el control crucero adaptativo.
So basically, we need to be able to sense the environment. You sense the environment through your eyes.
Básicamente debemos ser capaces de sentir el ambiente. Lo haces con tus ojos, por lo que lo más natural que podemos hacer es poner una cámara. Muchos de quienes trabajan en esta industria no creyeron que fuera posible con una sola cámara. La novedad de Mobileye comenzó con su fundador. Él, que también estaba al frente del departamento de computación de la Universidad de Hebrea, dijo que podemos identificar objetos en 3D, espacios en 3D, autos, personas, carriles, con una sola cámara. Fue toda una novedad tecnológica. Nadie pensó que se podía hacer. Eso es lo que hacemos. Incluso en este mismo auto hay una caja aquí arriba que tiene una cámara, solo una, que mira al frente y ve todo lo que nosotros vemos. Y en este chip, que es el chip que diseñamos con mis amigos en Mobileye, juntamos todos estos algoritmos que pueden tomar imágenes cuadro por cuadro y analizar la escena como lo haces en tu cerebro.
We have taken all these algorithms that can take images frame by frame and analyze the scene like you do in your brain.
And how exactly can...
Y exactamente cómo en el control crucero adaptativo, si tengo un auto al frente, automáticamente desacelera y luego, cuando no hay autos adelante, puede acelerar por sí solo.
Right. So, you know cruise control, you said you wanted to go 90 kilometers.
Digamos que en el control crucero quieres ir a 90 kilómetros por hora, lo seteas así. El sistema va a 90, pero ahora vemos un auto o una moto al frente que va a 70. Todos sabemos que hay que manejar la distancia y bajar la velocidad. Es lo mismo, vemos ese auto, podemos sentir la distancia y esa es la novedad. Podemos detectar la distancia con una sola cámara. Sabemos que debemos mantener la distancia, entonces controlamos el auto. Lo hacemos desacelerar de forma simple, manipulando los controles que tú operas con los pies, como el pedal y los frenos. Vamos directo a controlar el motor y hacer lo mismo que tú.
We can go directly into the engine control and do what you do.
Another piece of tech that is amazing is the...
Otra tecnología fantástica es la que ayuda a seguir en el carril si estamos distraídos o si simplemente no estamos manejando perfectamente. ¿Cómo trabaja? Siempre he pensado que la cámara está mirando las líneas del camino. ¿Así funciona?
Looking to the lines of the road. Is that how it works?
Yes, absolutely. It's not so simple.
Así es, totalmente. No es así de simple. Hay mucho procesamiento de imágenes. Por ejemplo, algoritmos que deben detectar si es una línea del carril o no lo es. Si es que hay una curva, tenemos un algoritmo que se llama alfombra mágica, que no solo ve las líneas, también ve los saltos en el camino. Eso permite que la amortiguación sea adaptativa o incluso evitar los saltos. En simple, podemos navegar el auto sin que toques nada.
So we're able to basically navigate the car without you touching anything.
¿Cuál podría ser el siguiente paso para la conducción autónoma total?
Autonomy driving.
Yeah, so I think that the main thing is our sensors and safety. So like I said, we can drive this car basically with just a camera or...
Lo principal son los sensores y la seguridad. Como dije, básicamente podemos manejar el auto con una cámara o usando 12 cámaras que lo rodeen. Eso nos permite estacionar de forma paralela al ver todo lo que hay alrededor. Todo eso permite conducir de forma autónoma, pero no de forma muy segura. ¿Qué sucede si una cámara falla, o el barro tapa una, o las conexiones se sueltan? Debemos tener redundancia, sistemas de respaldo. Mobileye diseñó un sistema de respaldo que usa radares normales y de luz. Esos tipos de sensores permiten hacer lo mismo que hacen las cámaras. El radar de luz es un sistema de láseres giratorios que te da imágenes completas en 360 grados. Como sabemos, los radares son muy buenos para medir distancias. Esos sensores los podemos integrar, se fusionan, se juntan con lo que nos están diciendo y así tenemos un sistema paralelo a las cámaras que nos dan redundancia. Ambos sistemas deben concordar en que hay que bajar la velocidad, que hay que cambiar de carril o seguir una curva, y si no concuerda, el sistema toma el control y hace que te estaciones.
To agree that, oh, we need to slow down, oh, we need to change lanes, oh, we need to follow this curve. If they don't agree, so now the system takes over and says park.
In a personal feeling?
Personalmente, ¿cómo se siente que tu trabajo, la tecnología que ayudaste a crear, esté en tantos autos alrededor del mundo?
Many cars around the world.
Yeah. So, I mean, as far as I know, the number is already over 150 million cars. It's very sad.
Hasta donde sé, serían unos 150 millones de autos. Es muy satisfactorio, muy difícil de asimilarlo cuando lo pienso. El fundador de Mobileye, en uno de sus discursos, dijo que no hay un grupo que haya salvado más vidas que esta empresa. Es una verdadera locura, un gran honor, pero lo tomo con humildad. Básicamente, soy un ingeniero, desarrollé el sistema, hice lo que me entrenaron y por fortuna soy parte de algo genial.
I did what I was trained to do, and I've been fortunate enough to be part of something that's so great.
Lo que ustedes quizás no saben es que Mois Navon ahora es un rabino. Hablaremos de innovación y religión al regreso acá en Agenda Económica. La última parte de la agenda económica de este día la dedicamos a conversar sobre el momento de Mois Navon y también el mensaje que da a las personas que trabajan en innovación y sobre todo innovación tecnológica. Mois, what are you doing right now to also making speeches and to telling all the people the main messages about innovation?
So it's interesting. I've always tried to combine my life with technology and philosophy, science and religion. There's really no contradiction. They complement each other. And so my whole life I've tried to integrate these two and use them to make who I am. At one point I also became a rabbi. I worked designing this Mobileye chip for 16 years, but then 6 of those years I went 2 nights a week to a yeshiva, a seminary, to learn how to be a rabbi. And all of that is basically to try to give expression to both of these sides that really we all have inside us. The side that wants to go out and fix the world and conquer the world, and the side that wants to answer the big existential questions, why are we here?
That's important and very impressive because one time you're making this tech, amazing technology, and now you're a rabbi. Many people can say, how is that change even possible?
Correct. So, right, a lot of people don't understand how you can integrate those two, but I don't understand how you can live not integrating those two. We all have inside of us this desire to know, why are we here? What's the purpose of the world? And how should we live ethically as good people? And so religion and philosophy, all of those fields are really trying to answer these existential questions. And the fact of the matter is that now I've taken those ideas and I'm put them together and I'm teaching the ethics of artificial intelligence at Ben Gurion University and others as well.
And you think that's your purpose here?
I do, and I think it's also amazing that I was able to find that. It's not easy to find your purpose. You can't like look for it, read a book, go to a class, and now you know. You have to know like what you're good at, what you like, how you're unique. You don't have to be the best in the world, but you're better than others at this. And I find that my ability to take philosophy and make it relevant in technology and science and so forth, that's kind of been my forte.
And also is your main message to the people that are working in innovation, that doesn't know which path to take, that maybe are a little lost and doesn't know how to travel in maybe a vast sea. That's it, that they have to focus in one thing and stay there?
Right, so I think that exactly, they shouldn't focus only on one thing. Of course, if you're a doctor, you should be a doctor, and if you're an engineer, you should be an engineer. But you also have to give expression to that philosophical side. You should be a doctor not just to make money, but to help people, to save lives, right? Viktor Frankl talks about that man can be much greater than he could possibly ever think if he thinks outside of himself. I don't want to be just the best doctor. I want to save as many lives as possible. Now I'll be a better doctor than I ever thought I could be. The same thing in engineering or in newscasting. You want to bring a message to somebody. You want to do something for the world. And so that's that philosophical drive within that other element of being somebody who's doing something in the world.
So, to end this conversation, do you really believe that full automatic driving can be possible, that we can, I don't know, stay in seat doing nothing all the time? We have to be aware, but is that achievable?
Absolutely. I think that, I can quote you people in the industry. Bob Lutz, who's the vice chairman of GM, says it will be within the next 10, 15 years. Wired magazine said that you won't need a driver's license by 2040. So within the next 15, 25 years max, we're not going to be driving cars.
Mois Navon, fundador de Mobileye, ha sido un placer estar contigo en Agenda Económica.
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
De esta manera terminamos una agenda especial dedicada a la innovación en la industria automotriz. Sean con nosotros acá en CNN Chile.